Hello, I am Eli G. Brown / Sonic Jr. and Sarah, and welcome to another Wooden Railway review. In this review, I am going to go over all three versions of Hiro, both versions of Victor, Charlie, and Kevin. Now, first of all, this is Hiro, the original Hiro. Well, not really the original, but it's Hiro as good as new. What he looked like before he came onto Sodor, and what he looked like before he broke down, and what he looked like after he was repaired. So, Hiro pretty much could be considered the star of the first CGI movie, Hero of the Rails. He was a very popular character. I really liked this character very much, and I still like him now. I really don't know why. So, well, let's take a look at the character. Well, basically, Hiro is a Japanese steam engine. He has these sideboards on his side, just like Murdoch. I can't remember what they exactly do. I'm pretty sure that somebody else will post a comment saying exactly what they're for. So, go ahead and post your comments saying what they do. I personally don't know what they do. So Hiro is mostly black. He is a black steam engine with gold lining on him and red wheels. And he has the number 51 on his tender. I'm not quite sure if that's supposed to represent anything. Maybe it's supposed to come from the year he was built, though I think he was actually built in 1953, not 1951. Speaking of the year he was built, Hiro was said to be the oldest engine on Sodor. Well, according to some people, there are a couple of problems with that. First of all, the soonest Hiro could have been built would be in 1953. That was the year his basis was built. And Thomas and Edward had been on Sodor since 1915, so that means Hiro can't be the oldest engine on Sodor, because at the supposed time that Thomas and Edward came to Sodor, Hiro's basis hadn't been invented yet. Yeah, bad writing, Sharon Miller, bad writing. But he's still a cool character, all in all. One other great thing about this character that I personally liked was that he is just like Felix Chang's fan-made characters, Joy and Naz, except by the fact that Joy and Naz are supposed to be C62 engines, while Hiro is a D51. So that's what his number stands for. It stands for the type of engine that he is. And what makes Hiro different from Joy and Naz is that, well, first of all, Joy and Naz don't have a cylinder on top of their boiler here, just like Hiro has. And they have their name boards on the side of their boilers, while Hiro has his on his sideboards right here, whatever those are supposed to be. So that is Hiro, a very cool character, though they've really messed up his point in time of arriving on Sodor, because Hiro's basis hadn't been invented until 1953. So that was the regular old Hiro. Now let's go on to the Lost and Found Hiro, or the Scrap Hiro, or whatever you want to look at it as. Well, this is basically the same version, except Hiro has a sad face on this because he is old and worn. And he has some bit of brown on him, which is supposed to represent his rustiness. And he has these leaves all around him because, well, he was in a forest for all that time, so leaves started to grow all around him. But something that I don't get, however, is that the gold paint lining, it goes over the scrapped bits. You would have thought that those would have rubbed out. Oh well. And also, the name board on this version of Hiro are turned over to one side from being all rusty and such. So So yeah, that is the lost and found version of Hiro, the scrap hero, the type of hero that he was when Thomas first met him in the movie Hero at the Rails. Now let's go on to Patchwork Hero. Now Patchwork Hero is quite different from the lost and found hero, though he kind of has more of a rusty tender up here than he had on the lost and found hero, but he was a lot newer than that. Though something to also note is that the red on this version of Hero are a lot brighter than the basic red that Learning Curve used at this point in time. And Hiro has a blue boiler. Now, according to some people online, Hiro was originally going to be a blue engine, but they decided to make him black instead. But they kept the blue idea in for his patchwork boiler. This is basically Hiro getting fitted with spare parts, all in all, before he was actually finished. And this does look like a good combination of colors. Because he has a green sideboard here, a purple one over here. He has a green set of buffers, or at least I think those are buffers. He has green cylinders right there. The green, well, I don't know if these are supposed to be cylinders or sideboard or whatever, but I think this is a cylinder. There's a green cylinder. And he has a a red dome on top of here. And he also has a blue wheel on each side. And he also has a happy face, not like the scrap hero, because, well, this is Hiro's process of getting repaired. And he's pretty happy about this. But of course, he would then lose some of his new parts because of running away from Spencer. I really wish they could have made a Wooden Railway Hero where Hiro lost his new parts, but maybe sometime, maybe in Eli the Tank Engine 38, I may put Lost Parts Hero into that series, because I haven't done that yet. So that is the the Patchwork Hero. Now let's go on to Victor right here. Now Victor is a red engine that works at Steamworks. He is a Cuban engine, and he is narrow gauge, and he has yellow wheels right here as well as yellow lining. Now, of course, Victor doesn't really do much in the series. He doesn't pull trains, he doesn't do much work. All he does is just run the Steamworks and deliver parts to the narrow gauge engines when they need it, as shown in Don't Bother Victor. And he also has the Steamworks logo on his side, which is quite interesting. And he also has the striped front buffer right here, which is quite interesting. So that is the basic Victor, the original Victor, well, in the show, but not in the timeline. We then cut to Victor when he first arrived on Sodor. Now this comes from a flashback in the 2012 movie Blue Mountain Mystery. Victor was originally a yellow engine with green wheels and green lining on him. He wasn't always red. Now Victor came from his island, his country, Cuba, and was sent to go to Sodor. But things were pretty bad for him because, well, first of all, he didn't speak English yet. He only spoke Spanish. Now, what was bad about that was that none of the people on the boat could understand him. Though they could have understood him saying the word problema, but I don't know. But couldn't there have been any workers on the boat that spoke Spanish? I don't know. This version of Victor is titled Victor Comes to Sodor, though in Eli the Tank Engine I called him Flashback Victor. because that was before his official name was announced. Now, Victor fell into the sea. Now, I don't have Victor's big splash at the time of making this video, and I don't know if I'll actually get one like that. Victor fell into the sea because... is that a spider? Because his wheel chains broke on the boat ride. And when Cranky went to lift Luke up off the boat, he bumped into Victor, causing Victor to fall into the sea. Now, I of course... Well, first I knew that Luke, who is an engine that we'll be reviewing later, was scared because he believed that he had done something bad. Well, that was the first thing we knew. We knew that he had done something bad, or believed that he had done something bad. The second thing we knew was that he pushed an engine into the sea. But that's all we knew. We just knew that he pushed an engine into the sea. We didn't know if it was an engine we already knew or an engine that we didn't know. All we knew is that he pushed an engine into the sea, or believed that he pushed an engine into the sea. Now, of course, when we only had that information, I believed that the engine he pushed into the sea was a random engine and that we would never see him again. And also believed that that engine that fell into the sea may have perished. But then, the next thing that we found out was that the engine that fell into the sea was Victor. Now, of course, before finding out that the engine that fell into the sea was Victor, I knew that Victor had once been yellow. I saw the merchandise found on the website, and that was all that I knew. I knew that Victor had originally been yellow, and there was a point where he was rusty, but I didn't know why he was rusty yet. But as soon as I learned that Victor was in fact the engine that fell into the sea, those questions were answered. And then the next thing was a question. I asked, if Victor was the engine that fell into the sea, how did he survive? Well, it turns out in the movie, he didn't fall into the sea all the way. His face was still sticking out because he landed on a jetty. Okay. Reasonable. So, that's about it for Victor Comes to Sodor. Now I'm gonna go over to Kevin right here. Kevin doesn't run on rails, he's a road crane. Now Kevin is unusually shaped in this version. He's not at all like how he appears in the TV series. Well, I guess they couldn't make him all square shaped and such. So I think they did do an updated version of Kevin, but I think I'm gonna stick to this one. Kevin has this hook, which can hold items, magnetic items. I don't have any particular ones on me. I'm just checking to see if that's magnetic, but yeah. Kevin is basically this crane that works with Victor at the Steamworks. He calls him Boss. Interesting. And, well, he just carries things. And that's all I have to say for Kevin. Now on to our last engine. Now if I reviewed this engine already in another video, apologies, I can't remember, but I probably haven't. So, this is Charlie. Now I don't have many minutes left. I only have about a minute left, so I'll quickly go over him. Charlie is a purple engine, though I at first thought he was blue because of how dark his paint was, like bluish purple. He has the number 14 on the side. Now, I would not consider that to be part of the main railway and such, because we don't have a 12 or a 13 on the railway. And he is white lining. He's the same class as Billy, and he's a jokester, and he has red wheels. So that's about it for this one. I wish I could have explained a bit more, but, you know, I only have 15 minutes to do these reviews, because that's the limit on YouTube, 15 minutes. Well, of course, I could upload videos longer than that, but I choose not to. So, that's it. Please sign the petitions that appear, and I'll talk to you next time.